विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिनि नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पति गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादि गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। Hare Krishna. By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely progressing every day in our efforts to understand Bhagavad Gita. So this Bhagavad Gita, the king of knowledge, we are able to get every day by Krishna's causeless mercy. So now we are in the 8th chapter, but I say every day I say those who joined for the first time today. So I'm going to cover all the slokas from different chapters so that we will understand the entire Bhagavad Gita. So at any point of time you join, you won't miss anything. So the title of the 8th chapter is Attaining the Supreme. So from the 2nd chapter we understand that we should get out of this material world. So this is not a happy place for us to live, but we are forced to live and we are forced to suffer, we are forced to struggle, and everything is being forced upon us. That is the main thing we need to understand. And we are forced to act. That is the main thing. So, but unfortunately, without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are not able to understand this important fact. We are not able to realize this very important fact. We try to find reason, we try to blame someone if something goes wrong, and we try to take credit if something goes right. So all such things we think that I am doing, you are doing, like that. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us very clearly that the modes of nature, 3 modes of nature are doing everything. So that's what we are studying almost every day about this very important fact. But now Krishna is teaching us about how to reach him. So once we reach him, then we are no longer under the control of this forceful control of these modes of nature. So in order to reach him, so we need to know the process. Saknotigaiva yatsodum praksarira vimokshanat kama krododbhavam vegam sayuktaga sasuki naraka. That's what in the 5th chapter Krishna is saying that. That means one who is able to tolerate. Saknotigaiva. Sakno means tolerating. So able to. One who is able to. Saknotigaiva yatsodum prak sarira vimokshanat. So prak sarira vimokshanat. This sarira is the body. So before we die, that means until the time of our death, if one is able to tolerate the urge, the vegam. The vegam means the speed, the urge, which is coming from what? Which is produced from udbhava. Udbhava means produced. Udbhava. So the urge which is produced from kama krodha. Kama krododbhavam vegam sayuktaga sasuki naraga. So one who is able to tolerate the urge which is coming from kama and krodha, that is the desire, strong desire to enjoy the material sense objects, and krodha, anger. So one who is able to control this kama and krodha, so then Krishna is saying that he is Sa Yuktaha. Yuktaha. About the word Yukta, many times I have explained in the past. So he is what really, his Yuktaha means he is properly engaged. Sa Yuktaha. And he is the happiest person in this world. Sa Sukhi. Sa Sukhi Naraha. So he is the Sukhi. Sukhi means he is the happiest person. Sa Yuktaha, Sa Sukhi Naraha. So then what is the formula for achieve peace of mind? So what is the formula for enjoying in this world, enjoying getting the happiness? How to get happiness? So we already know, many times I have explained that peace of mind is the source of happiness. That's what Krishna is teaching us. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very clearly teaching us that asantasya kuta sukam. When there is no peace of mind, where from happiness comes? So we know that happiness comes. We can be happy only when we get peace of mind. But here Krishna is saying that Sasuki Naraka. So Sukhi means the happiest person. Who is the happiest person? Who is able to stop the Vegam. Vegam means the speed. We know the Vegam. The meaning of Vegam is the speed. So that speed is produced from what? Kama and Krodha. That is lust. That is the strong desire to enjoy this material sense objects. And then when all our desires are not fulfilled, so then what is the end result? The end result is anger. So that's why Kama, Krodha. So Kama is the desire, strong desire to gratify the senses, sense objects, using the sense objects. And Krodha is the end result, because of course we cannot satisfy all our material desires in this material world, because that's the nature of this material world. So we can desire so many things, we want so many things in this world, but we are not going to get everything, and we will get frustration. Many times we will end up with getting frustration. That's what will be the end result. So then anger comes, because we are not able to get what we want. So then anger comes. So that's why Kama Krodho Bhavam Vegam. So because of that Vegam, the speed, one is able to stop it. One is able to stop it until the time of our death. So then we will be able to lead a happy and blissful life. Yonta Sukho Antararamaha Tatantaga Jyotirevayaga Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhutho Adhigachati. So one who is able to enjoy happiness within ourselves. That's what Yo Anta Sukho. Yo means those who. Anta means inside, inner. Happiness, Sukho. So Yonta Sukho. So those who are able to enjoy, those who are able to find happiness within the self. Yonta Sukho Antar Aramagam Tatantaga Jyotirevayagam. Sa yogi, that yogi is Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuto Adhigachati. So that person will be able to liberate from this material world and go to Brahman. That is Brahma Bhutam. So we will go to the Brahma Bhuta platform. So for that, we need to find out a way to find happiness within ourselves. We need to figure out how to find happiness within our Atma, this self. So that is what is called Atma Tripti, Atma Santosa. So Atma, so Krishna, Atma Rati, so Yastvatma Rati, Evasya, Atma Triptascha, Manavaga, Atma Nevacha, Santustaga. So all these things, if we are able to get, so then we will become a Brahma Bhuta. So Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam, Brahma Bhuto Adhigachati. So then what is going to happen? Labante Brahma Nirvanam Risayaga Kshina Kalmasaga Chinnadvaido Yadatmanaga Sarvabhuta Hiterataga. So then when we get that Brahma Nirvanam, so that is what is known as Brahma Nirvanam, Labante Brahma Nirvanam. So at that point of time, we will be freed from all sinful reactions. So that's what Rasayaga Kshina Kalmasaga. Kshina Kalmasaga means we are freed from all sinful reactions. Chinnadvaido yadatmanagam. So at that time, we will be able to destroy the dualities. Chinnadvaido yadatmanagam. Sarvabhuta kiteratagam. Then we can actually work for the welfare of all living entities. So that's what is going to happen when we study Bhagavad Gita. When we understand Bhagavad Gita, we will find inner happiness. We will know how to find inner happiness. So what is inner happiness? The happiness within ourselves. Our mind is no longer disturbed by anything in this material world. That's what is called inner happiness. Outer happiness, external happiness is our mind is going after material sense objects, and then it thinks that we are enjoying the material sense objects, but really finally we end up with frustration. The end result is suffering, dukkha. So that way, really speaking, there is no happiness outside, externally, for the soul. For the soul, because we are not the body, we are the soul, but the soul is inside the body and we have senses. So if we try to enjoy, if we try to be happy by gratifying, by sense gratification, so the end result is only dukkha. The end result is only suffering. One thing is that in this material world, any material sense object, we cannot keep on enjoying. There is a limit. And the problem here is that, that's why anything, if a person likes sweet so much, but the doctor says that don't take so much of sweet, don't take carbohydrates, glycemic index, and diabetes. Really, that is true. If diabetes comes, it brings all kinds of problems, especially in this coronavirus situation. People with the diabetes, there is a major underlying condition. So they are in trouble. So then blood pressure, you don't eat a lot of salt, don't eat this much, don't eat cholesterol, don't eat fat, all these things. Because in this material world, we are too much restricted. We cannot enjoy unlimitedly with the material sense objects. We need to understand it. So we need to understand. That's why we need to regulate. That's why regulation is very important. That's why that yukta is very important. We should know what to eat and how much to eat and when to eat. And we should know how to take rest, how to give rest to the body. When we sleep, a lot of things are happening in our brain. It does a lot of work actually. So it replenishes our body with all the required proteins and all kinds of things happen. So that way, in order for us to be fresh and act very well, so we need to control our sleep. We need to regulate our sleep. We should sleep enough and should not sleep too much and eat enough. All these things are very, very, very important actually. So how are we going to do all these things? Only by getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, only by understanding everything and trying to control our mind. So if we don't control our mind, and if we are just disturbed, we are just moved away by this kama, krodha, bhavam, vegam, so then we are in big trouble. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita knowledge only gives us a way to come out of this problem. So we are in the dense forest of illusion, moha kalilam. So without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, there is no way to get out of that dense forest. We're going to be inside that and struggle and suffer forever. That's what is happening if you don't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So this Bhagavad Gita is the guide. Which tells us how to get out of that dense forest of illusion. How to get out. We need to get out means it's the way. It gives the instructions. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that I shall explain to you what you should do so that you can be freed from the miseries of material existence. Mokshashe asubhat. Mokshashe asubhat. Here everything is asubhat. Everything is inauspicious. Nothing is good in this material world. We need to understand. Because everything is temporal. So we should not try to come again back to this material world and take another material birth, another body. So that's what is the main thing we understand from Bhagavad Gita. So that's why in the 8th chapter now we are studying about how to attain the Supreme. So in the past many slokas, now we finished about 10 slokas, and Krishna is teaching us very clearly, very, very clearly. We know that without any doubt, we know very well that the only way to go to only way to get out of this material nature and the only way to go to Krishna's well is just to remember him at the time of death. Nothing else. Just remember Krishna, that's it. If you remember Krishna, then we are going to go to Krishna. So that's it. But how are we going to remember Krishna? So that won't happen if we don't take care of our life right now. If we don't make use of this opportunity right now, then it's going to be very difficult for us to get out of this material world. So that's why Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita that you do everything by consulting with this Bhagavad Gita. That's why Krishna is so much merciful upon us that he gave this knowledge to us. Imagine if this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is not there for us and there is nothing forcing Krishna to give this knowledge to us. It's because of our misuse of our free will, because of ahankara, the false ego, false prestige, we are struggling, we are suffering in this material world. But Krishna is so much merciful upon us. And he loves us so much. He doesn't want us to suffer in this material world. He wants us to get out from here and go back to his place. That's what Krishna wants from us. That's why he came here. And he gave this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Because only from Bhagavad Gita we understand who am I? The answer for the question, who am I? About soul. About soul, we are getting a full, clear understanding only in Bhagavad Gita. Just in this Bhagavad Gita, we get the complete knowledge about ourselves. Not only about ourselves, but also about Krishna. Thanks to Arjuna. Because Arjuna is asking Krishna to tell him more about himself, about Krishna. Lot of things. Arjuna is asking so many nice, wonderful questions. That's why we got this Bhagavad Gita, this entire Bhagavad Gita with us. 18 chapters, 700 slokas. If we study all these slokas and understand, so then our future is guaranteed. Then our future is going to be very, very bright. Because then we are no longer disturbed by anything in this material world. Because our consciousness, it will be full of Krishna. So when we connect ourselves with Krishna, when our mind is focused on Krishna, so then we are no longer connected with this material world. So that means our mind is no more disturbed. That is the main thing. So that's what Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita about how to achieve that inner happiness. Atma Sukham. So Atma Sukham. Sukhasya ikanti tasya. So there is the Brahman platform. There is a Brahma Loka. So we need to, there is Brahma Loka means there is a Brahman. There is Krishna as well. Not the Brahma Loka. Brahma Loka is the material world. Even if you go up to Brahma Loka, we'll come back here. But we are Brahman. Krishna is this Param Brahman. So that's why Arjuna is calling Krishna as Param Brahman. Param Brahma. Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. How many times Arjuna used the word Param? Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Saswatam Divyam. He is a divine, transcendental, divine, eternal person. Purusham Saswatam Divyam. So that's what we need to understand about Krishna. And there is nothing there for us to do in this material world. We are simply struggling here only. Simply identifying ourselves with this body. And simply thinking that this is what permanent. That's a major problem we are doing. We don't understand how the life is going, how the time is flying. So over a period of time, we'll be vanishing from this world. That's it. Then afterwards, we won't even leave a single trace of our existence in this world. Nobody is going to even bother about us. So now we think that I know this person, I know that person, I have a lot of things I know, all these things. We are so proud. We are so proud about our achievements, our accomplishments, all such things. But simply at the time of death, everything is gone. Everything is completely gone. But if we make use of this opportunity very well and study and understand Bhagavad Gita and act as per Krishna's instructions, so then we are going to get something which is going to be with us. All the result, what we are going to get with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, because we are going to progress towards Krishna. So that's what this Bhagavad Gita is about. That's why this Bhagavad Gita is very, very important for us to study. That's why all of us are studying this Bhagavad Gita every day. In fact, Krishna is so much merciful that he's giving us an opportunity to study this Bhagavad Gita every day as a very big team of devotees from everywhere. Lot of devotees, we are all together studying this Bhagavad Gita. It's all happening because Krishna's mercy. That is the only thing. So it's just because Krishna is so much merciful upon us and he is creating this opportunity, and we are also having so much faith on Krishna that we are making use of this opportunity. That's why we are making a great progress in this effort. So now in the 8th chapter, in the 10th sloka we studied yesterday, Krishna taught us very clearly that prayana kale manasachalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva gruvor madhye pranam avesya samyak satam param purusham upaiti divyam. So at the time of death, our mind should be very steady. Our mind should be very, very steady. It should not be restless. That's what manasa chalena. So that means we should make our mind very steady now itself. We should not be losing out any time. We should not lose the time every day. We should very sincerely try to control our mind, because it's a very important task. Every one of us have to succeed. We have to succeed in this effort. So then, if our mind is very steady, so that's why manasa chalena, then how can we make our mind very steady? We can make our mind very steady only by serving, connecting ourselves with Krishna, only by loving Krishna, only by remembering Krishna. So otherwise we cannot make our mind steady. So that's what is known as bhaktya yukto. So yoga balam. So that way, when we are connected with Krishna, when our mind is very steady, and at that time we are not disturbed by anything happening in this material world. So that means we have achieved yoga balam, the strength. So with that yoga balam, we will be able to bring our life here, our prana, our atma between the two eyebrows. Then if we leave this body, we will go to Krishna's well. So satam param purusham upaiti divyam. So now in the next sloka, in the sloka number 11, we are studying in the 8th chapter. Yadaksharam veda vido vadanti visanti yatyatayo vitaragaha yadrichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. Yadaksharam veda vido vadanti visanti yatyatayo vitaragaha yadrichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. So that Aksharam Brahma Paramam, we already studied about the Aksharam. So here also the word, the syllable Om is also Aksharam. So we are going to study in the next coming slokas Omitekaksharam Brahma. So that Brahman is also Om. So that's why this Om mantra is very important. So that Brahman also can be called as Om. The name of Brahman is actually Om. So that's why here Yat Aksharam. So that Aksharam, there is the Brahman. So Krishna is talking about that Brahman. So we also studied in the very beginning, Krishna has said about when Arjuna asked the question, Kim Tat Brahma, Kim Madhyatma, Kim Karma Purushottama. At that time, Krishna answered that Aksharam Brahma Paramam. So Krishna used that Aksharam Brahma Paramam. But Srila Prabhupada in the translation, he mentioned that Brahman is actually referred to the soul, Atma. But here, this Brahman is also referring to the Krishna's abode. So Krishna's world. So that is also Brahman. So we belong to Krishna's world. We don't belong to this material world. In fact, we are all aliens in this material world. We think that there will be some aliens coming to this material world, and we are sometimes read the news that somebody spotted aliens or some unknown flying object, all such things. But reality, we are aliens in this material world. We belong to Krishna's world. So that's why we should go to that Brahman, that Krishna's world. So Brahmanohi pratishtagam amritasya avyayasya cha sasvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya kanti tasya cha. So that is the place. So Krishna's abode. So that is what is Brahm. That's why Adaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti. Those who knows the Vedas, those who understand the Vedas, they describe what is as Aksharam. So that's also the syllable Om. So that is the Brahman. Visanthi. So you'll enter. So that's what Visanthi. Yatyatayo Vitaragaha. Vitaragaha means free from attachment. So by endeavoring, so the great sages, Vitaragaha, free from attachment. So that's what they renounce order of life, free from attachment. So the main thing is that free from attachment doesn't mean that we will not do any activity. That doesn't mean that we'll just leave away everything and take a renounced order of life. Actually, Krishna's devotee will always work for Krishna, will do everything for Krishna, but without any attachment. That is the main thing. So, anasritaga karma palam karyam karma karotyaga sasanyasi cha yogi cha naniragniki nacha kriyagam. In the 6th chapter, first sloka, Krishna says that anasritaga karma palam. So one who is not attached to the fruits of the results, fruits of the activities, results of the activities. So anasritaka karma palam karyam karma karotyaga. If anyone performs the duty without expecting the results, without any attachment to the results, sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. He is known as sannyasi and he is known as yogi. So not the person naniragni nachakriya, not the person who is not doing anything, who is not igniting the fire, who is not doing the activity. So he is not sannyasi. The sannyasi is a person who is actually acting. So that's why here, yatyatayo vitaragaha yatichanto brahmacharyam charanti. So ichanto means by desiring, so to go to Krishna's well, the Brahman. So of course they will follow brahmacharyam charanti. Because once we are connected with Krishna, once our goal is only to achieve Krishna, so then Krishna is, our mind will be always filled with Krishna. So at that point of time, all these worldly things will not bother us, will not affect us. That's all going to automatically happen. It will just happen when our goal is only to go to Krishna, think about Krishna, because all such things are happening with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Because with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will become too busy. We will become very, very busy in studying, understanding Bhagavad Gita, serving Krishna, remembering Krishna, doing everything for Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So our life will be full of Krishna consciousness, Krishna. So that's why I think yatichanto brahmacharyam charanti. So tatte padam sangrahena pravakshye. So I shall explain to you now how they will come to that supreme destination. That's what Krishna is going to teach us. Krishna is going to teach us. Even Krishna is continuing in this entire 8th chapter. For Arjuna's question, Krishna is answering. Arjuna's question is that how to reach you. Prayana kalecha katam neyosi niyatatmabi. So for that, Krishna is teaching everything very, very clearly. So by Krishna's costless mercy, we have successfully finished the sloka number 11 in the 8th chapter today. And I will stop now and we will discuss if any questions are there. And I will hand over to Siva Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Guruji. If there are any people who have joined for the first time, you can raise the hand and I will introduce you to the Guruji.